Hey, I'm Mike from Southern Evil. We're here today to take a look at the new Valtinsu EM-5 48-volt electric pit bike. Let's go over here and take a look and see what we got in a box. That's an awful small box. Got a set of tools, a set of keys, and a manual. I'm just joking with you guys. We had a technical issue with the unboxing and of me putting the bike together. So I'm just going to go straight into a review of what the bike looks like and compare it next to my Changzhou Salil. I can tell you, technical difficulties, what can I tell you? That this manual is very informative. It tells you how to function the display. There's a lot of features in the display, which the Changzhou did not come with, and some other e-bikes do not come with. It tells you what the error codes are, how to troubleshoot the error codes, what the error code actually means. Other than that, very good, informative manual. Looks a lot like the Changzhou Salil, but with a lot of differences. It does have the same rims and tires, the same front suspension. Other than that, that is the only similarities between the Changzhou Salil in all actuality. This one has a steel frame. Out of the box, it's around 140 pounds, which when riding it, you really can't tell a difference between riding this or the Changzhou Salil. I felt that they were both nimble and agile for their size. Let's take a little bit closer look at display. Nice multi-function display. You can see it already has a Sur-Ron style throttle on the EM-5, which I love. It already comes with pretty grippy grips. Sorry. They're really nice grips. They don't move at all. Really sturdy. Really nice feel. They kind of feel like my domino grips on the Changzhou Salil over here. It has dual piston brakes on the front and a single piston in the rear. It does have an adjustable rear shock, two-way adjustable rear shock. We'll open up the seat here. You can see down here, you can add air to the shock right here. And then you have the coilover adjustment right here, which you'll need a spanner wrench to adjust here. Here's the battery. Looks the same as the Changzhou battery, but it's different by all means. I've had this battery out. It is taller than the Changzhou battery. It is taller than an Amorge battery. Same dimensions as the Amorge and the Changzhou battery, other than the height. This battery is much taller. Has DOT 3 or 4 brakes on it. I liked the fact that the front fender is a good quality front fender, not flimsy or floppy. It's about the right size for the bike. You could see that it gives you room to have bigger tires on it, which they do have a version of this bike that has 17 front tire and a 14 back tire. And also I did notice that the handlebars are not the same as a Tutuio handlebar. These handlebars are thicker right here. They're 1.125 inches, but they will support 22 millimeter or 7/8 inch grips and throttles. But I like the fact that it is thicker. I feel that it's more durable, much easier to get upgrades for this style. And to turn this on, it has a park mode. 0 is in park. You have mode 1, mode 2, and mode 3. Like I said in the beginning, this display has multiple functions on it. You have the odometer, the tripometer, your average miles, average mile an hour, your max speed, your current voltage, how many watts you're pulling as you ride, how many amps you're pulling as you ride, and it has a timer, so you can time yourself how long the bike has been on. I find a lot of those features very helpful for riding, especially if you're planning on making content. That's a lot of useful information. And when it is in park, you can twist the throttle all you want and nothing's going to happen, which is great for showing the bike off to your buddies or your family. That way somebody can't just whiskey throttle it, and you don't have to have one of those magnetic keys to put it back to be active. You have the key here is on. Once you turn the key on, it's on, and you got to change it into gear over here. Every time you turn it off and on, it's going to be in park. I like that setup a lot, and overall there's a lot of great features on this bike. The pegs are actually made out of steel, not a cheap material. The peg mounts are welded to the frame, which to me that's great because we don't have to worry about them snapping and coming off. And I also noticed underneath, this comes with a chain roller right here to help the chain stay on the bike and keep tension. Also, I noticed underneath that it has a support bar for the pegs that goes straight across right here, which helps make it even more durable. In a second, I'm going to take and put this bike a little closer to the Tutuio over here, so y'all can get a closer look at them side by side. I also wanted to note the swing arm. This is a regular pit bike swing arm. It's not thin, very durable. I don't think it's going to bend very easily, which is great. If you're wondering what this is a zip tie. I found that, and it's not anybody's fault, but from shipping, that this got a little deformed in shape and was rubbing the tire when I was riding, which just made a sound, made the bike louder than what it should be. So I put a zip tie here around the base of the shock to hold it in place. I believe there should be some type of mount down here to hold the mud guard in place, but because it being soft material, it'll still let the suspension and swing arm flex up and down with ease and not have any issues that way. This is the same size sprocket as the Tutuio. It is a 60-tooth sprocket. The front sprocket is a 11-tooth front sprocket, just like the Tutuio. I do like that this has a regular kickstand. It's very strong. I like that a little bit better. Some people like that adjustable aluminum kickstand for the Tutuio, but I prefer this kind. You can see down here there is a space for a chain guard, which I also like that. It didn't come with a chain guard, but there is a spot for the chain guard to bolt to. Let's take a look at the Tutuio. You can see the frame on the Tutuio, as we all know, is aluminum. Excuse me, that's my alarm on the Tutuio. I have a 14-inch rear on my Tutuio, 17 wheel front on the Tutuio. I have it about as customized as I want on the appearance. For me to have a good display, I had to get rid of the old Tutuio display and put my own display on here. I had to add the Sur-On style throttle because this doesn't come with it. Better voltmeter, headlight and tail light switch, keyless on and off, bolts and volts, seat cover, and I'll show you the battery in here. Got the Amorge 60-volt battery. Everything's nice and clean and tucked in place, hidden. Got the wireless alarm system with the keyless right here, and behind that, here it goes again, is my 12-volt step-down converter. All behind the door, all the wires, everything all tucked away. Which I think with everything behind the door, as you can see, took up the gap pretty good and filled it in so it didn't look so blank right there. That's my 72660 controller. Small headlight on the front of the Tutuio. All in all, they're pretty much the same bike. Like I said, the only difference is the frame. Other than the frame, they're identical parts on the bike. Other than the motor is different. I can show y'all that in a minute. I mean, like I said, that being a aluminum frame, the Tutuio came in at 105 pounds out the box with the battery in it. The EM-5 comes out of the box with the battery in it at right around 140 pounds. That's 35 pounds more weight, but I couldn't tell the difference when I was riding. Stock out of the box, this goes 37 miles an hour. The Tutuio stock out of the box goes 37 miles an hour. They both have far driver controllers. They can both be tuned with a Bluetooth dongle. It is a little more difficult on the EM-5 to get to the dongle. I had to take the controller off from the front right here, these 4 screws, and I was able to get to the harness of the controller and find the Bluetooth dongle plug. And then what I did was took the plug and fed it up to the top of the inner controller cover inside the bike, and I'll show you that in a second. As you can see, there's the dongle plug back there in the back, that white plug. That's as far as it will come to the top, but you are able to get in there and plug the dongle in, and I will show you me plugging the dongle in here in 1 second. I'm not going to plug it in and leave it plugged in or change the tune of the controller. I'm just going to show you that it can be plugged in. What I do is I just hold the plug like this, line it up, and plug it in. Very simple, very easy, and to secure it, well, you can't ride with it connected. It will give you an error 10 code while it's connected, but it will let you adjust the tune. I will show you another feature that I did like on this bike. As you notice, this is the charging cord. Yes, there is a charging port here if you take the battery out, but there is a charging port on the front of the bike, which makes it super convenient to charge your bike up. So here in a second, I'm going to show you how this battery comes out if you do want to take your battery out. Give me 1 second. Hold that with the bike. You will need a 10mm wrench or socket. First, let me unplug the battery. It's not the easiest plug to unplug. There we go. Now you got a bolt on either side. I did wish there was a faster way to get the battery out, but not too much, because this keeps the battery really sturdy and secured in the bike. There's no movement, no rattle, nothing. Then you just pull the battery out like that, and we're going to sit it down right here. And this is the stock Tutuio battery. I will put them back to back so you can see the height difference. Big height difference. Huge height difference. The plugs here look the same, but they're different. They will not plug into each other. So they're different, and the charging is different. Other than that, I mean, the batteries are the same other than the height. And we're going to take out the Amorge battery. It comes out nice and easy. As you can see, the EM-5 battery is also taller than the Amorge battery, which gives us more options of different types of batteries we can put in this bike, which I extremely love. I will give y'all a sneak peek and show you. The Amorge battery goes right in. Of course, I can't plug it up because I don't have the right plug. And the seat closes right down. Perfect fit. Instant upgrade. The one thing I did notice is this is the right height bracket to go back on, but it's not wide enough to go over the Amorge's casing. And it's not over snug. As you can see, there's a little bit of play with my Amorge battery, other than where it gets to the screws right here. When it hits the frame, it doesn't move at all. So it just really needs something to hold the battery back into the bike. And this 60 volt 30 amp hour battery would be a great upgrade for this bike. And with just that controller in there, would increase this bike to 4,200 watts with just adding this battery. Other than that, I think this bike is, for what I paid for the bike and what others have already paid for the bike, for being under $900 versus the Tutuio. When I first got the Tutuio, was $12.99, which with the discount code Jeremy, I was able to get the bike for $1,290 to my door. This bike was $868 to my door, shipped in to me by FedEx from California. For the deal and for the things that it already has on it, for the price that you would have to add to the Tutuio after the fact, this is a much better bike for your budget. I could honestly see the quality of this has got to be close or the same as the quality of an RTR or RTR Lite. I also noticed that this stem nut and down tube looks to me like the same size as what's on an RTR Lite, which means you can upgrade your triple tree clamps and put adjustable suspension on this bike, which will make it that much better. And being able to just put a battery straight in that's upgraded, this is everybody's budget dream right here. This gets you on the trails and riding with your friends for under $900. Next part of the video, I'm going to take you on for a little test ride with this. I have a little track back here that I built for my daughter for a four-wheeler, and then I have some much bigger intermediate trails in the back. I'll see you then. You can turn it off. Okay, I promised to show y'all a little bit of the motor. This is before I go out on my ride. I thought I'd show you the stock Tutuio motor. It's not a tiny motor. I mean, it's a great motor for the Tutuio, but by its size and shape, took a lot of effort from Aston to come up with a upgrade motor for us guys. And that's the one biggest downfall of the Tutuio, what was the shape of the motor. It's a decent motor. It could handle a lot more than what it was actually rated for. I pushed this motor around 6,000 watts, and it got hot. It didn't get overheating hot, but it did get hot. But let's take a look at the motor on this. These side covers just pull right off, and as you can see, it's a pretty good size motor in this bike for the frame. You could actually tell that you could put a much bigger motor in here. It almost, to me, looks like it would fit a Soshin FW01 motor, stock Suron motor, or possibly one of Electron-Co's motors could go in here. Maybe even a QS motor would fit in here. To me, with this motor style, it gives us a lot more options of upgrading this bike. I see a lot of potential in this platform of this style of bike. And to get the cover back on, you just put the cover back up here, give it a little tap to stay in place, and that's all it is. The cover on the other side comes off just like that. For what this bike is, I'm thoroughly impressed. A lot of the frame is protected by plastics. You don't get a good picture of the whole frame, but it looks very durable. I did notice up here, it does have a number plate for registration for this bike. So for those of you that do order, ask for a certificate of origin when you order this bike. And then with adding some headlight, tail light, brake light, and turn signals, this could become a road legal bike. And as it is stock with its performance, it could be registered as a moped in most states in the United States, which means that you could get a moped tag and ride legally without having to have a license, which means transportation-wise, it's a good little commuter option. And once you get it registered at its stock performance, who's to know in the future you upgrade it to go a little bit faster? It's already registered under what the numbers say it is. So I mean but I'm not advising anybody to do this. It's just an idea. I don't want to get myself or anybody else in trouble. I want everybody to obey the bike laws and the laws of the road. Wear your helmet, wear your safety gear at all times. And like I said, I'm going to go out on this ride and show you what this bike has. Driveway here. I don't have very long of a straight stretch. I'll get it as fast as I can. I just wanted to show you I'm going to use a GPS app on my phone to get an accurate speed number, and I'm going to compare it to what's on the speedometer. Here we go. I'm going to start off straight up in mode 3. See how fast it can go. top speed of 31 miles an hour on the GPS, and on the bike it said I had a top speed of 33.7 miles an hour. So the bike is about 2 miles an hour faster. That's not too bad. So for that short distance, for me only getting up to 31, I don't think that's bad in that short of a distance. I'm going to take a ride back to the end of the driveway and see if I can get a little bit faster. That time, GPS said I got up to 33 miles an hour coming back this way, and the display said I went 34 miles an hour. So it's not really that far off. It's pretty close. Like I said, in that short a stretch, that I don't feel that's that bad. Take a little ride around the track here for my daughter's four-wheeler. such a quick little fun ride coming this way. We're going to go back the other way and see how it handles going up the much steeper side of the hill. She handles great for the size. I mean, it's a blast to ride. I'm holding it wide open, just having as much fun as I can. That's I mean, that's to me, that's what it's all about. And I'll say it again, for under $900, get you out riding with your family and friends. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about to me. Let's go back the other way. back here. I'm not going to go explore everything today, but trust me, I could ride back here for days and have a blast. It's just a wonderful place to ride on any bike. I'm not the best at wheelies, kind of like Voltron Watts. I sometimes end up on my butt, as you can just see, but this bike can definitely wheelie, and I think this bike is just awesome, well worth the money. Let's see. Awesome. Wow, I was not expecting to loop out on this little bike. That just goes to show you how much torque and power is in this little bike for the price. For under $900, this has got to be the new king of the budget electric pit bikes on the market. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am not being paid to say this. They did not give me this bike. I paid for this bike out of pocket. This is my bike. I am allowed to say and do whatever I want with this bike. There is another company, a more famous company, that has the same bike for twice the price. Sir Ronster had a bike from the other company in one of his videos, and it got removed off of YouTube, so I will not mention their name for monetary reasons. But I can tell you guys that you will enjoy this bike if you purchase this bike. it is well worth the purchase. It's going to get you out riding with your friends and family, and you will have a blast. If you've enjoyed the content that I have showed, please give me a like, a subscribe, and a comment, and put that bell notification on. I hope you guys have enjoyed my first YouTube video. I have other videos and content planned, so please come back and see what I have in store. Until then, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.